A journey from Hinduism to the cross. A groundbreaking heart surgery giving kids a second chance. And volunteers getting their hands dirty to build a church in Peru. These stories and more now on ANN. In southern Peru, leaders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in partnership with volunteers from Maranatha Volunteers International are joining forces to create a new space for worship, bringing hope and infrastructure to an underserved area.
Men and women, united in faith and dedication, are working to build a new church. More than just walls and roofs, it will soon be the new place of worship for the community of Chilca in southern Peru. Leaders from the Seventh-day Adventist Church of the Lake Union Conference in the United States have literally put their hands to work to bring this vision to life. Volunteers from all over the world are collaborating to build the brand new church for the congregation, which previously met in a house. Now, with the new space, they will have the opportunity to worship God with more comfort and convenience.
Shout hallelujah. All the break time. Hallelujah. Shout hallelujah. Shout hallelujah. Milk and honey.
Building a church is a project of faith in action, one that will not only transform the spirit of the community, but also re-energize the faith of the volunteers. Although most of the volunteers had never laid a block of cement before, they decided to undergo training and work, driven by the need and simplicity of the village residents. What impressed the international volunteers the most was the passion of the Chilca congregation. Even without a proper place to meet, their faith did not wane. On the contrary, it only grew stronger. The nearly completed church is a testament to faith and perseverance. Villagers in Chilca, Peru, had long prayed for a place to worship. Their prayers were answered through Project Amigo, an initiative of Maranatha Volunteers International, a nonprofit supporting ministry that works alongside the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
A book and a film sparked a path of discovery for Dave, a man from India. Drawn by the light of truth, he came to the Adventist Church in Vienna, Virginia, in the United States, where he encountered a message that reshaped his understanding of the world. Let's explore his journey from Hinduism to the cross.
Dave is an Indian man who disclosed that he's of a Hindu religious tradition. And what Dave told me was that, he'd seen this movie, and he went to this movie because he recognized I think Ellen White's name off of one of the books someone had given him randomly someday. What he told me, makes sense from a Hindu background, if you think about it. And again, in the Hindu tradition, light is very important. He said, the same light that I saw resonating from the book that was given to me, I sensed from the preview. And so I went and I saw the movie, and it had that same light. And then Dave kind of leaned into me and said, can you explain to me what it is about the Adventist people that have that light that was coming from the book and from the movie? And so we began to talk where Seventh-day Adventists came from, and how they were different from other Christians, and what things they had in common with other Christians. And Dave's impression, I'll never forget it. His impression was, I know many Christians. I know about some things about the Christian faith, but I've never seen this light resonating from any group like this group. Dave said, I've got another question for you, if you have time. Why did a man have to die Like, what is the importance of the crucifixion? Like, I don't get it from my background. Why someone had to die, and how does that make anyone better that this person died? I had a great experience just to be able to sit with Dave and explain the purpose of the cross and the sacrifice of Jesus, and this idea that justice and mercy kiss at the cross, and that really impacted Dave. And after that, the next Sabbath is when Dave started coming to church for worship. Is because of the movie, Dave cold called the church. It has become a part of our community, if not yet a member. But we can see what Jesus is doing. I would ask you to pray for Dave as he's on a journey. And none of us know where that journey is going. But we can see, like it says in Revelation 14:4, Dave is one of those who is following the Lamb wherever the Lamb goes. So I would invite you to pray that the Lamb would lead Dave to the Vienna baptistry.
We feel love. The love of Jesus. It lifts us up. It carries us forward. And it will guide us home.
I was made.
Advent Health Orlando is the first hospital in the U.S. to perform implants, helping stroke survivors regain strength in their hands and arms. 50 procedures have already been completed. The treatment, combined with intensive occupational therapy, has shown great results, with even young transplant patients returning to sports activities.
Little things with like turning the wrist, they weren't there. And with the Vivistem, it allowed my brain to recreate the new ways to do those things.
Vivistem is a vagal nerve stimulator specifically meant for patients who've had a stroke. We make it in a small incision on the side of the neck. We basically place an electrode that wraps around the nerve, and then we connect it to a small battery underneath the skin, much like a pacemaker basically. And that sends a signal through the electrodes, through the nerve, that helps patients who've had a stroke, who have weakness in an arm or a hand, to regain that strength.
Just the other day, I was able to start my car with my right hand. I couldn't do that before.
Before, I felt like there wasn't that much movement. I've started crocheting, so like holding a crochet hook and like going around and making animals and stuff.
It will continue to improve. That's a big thing. I am definitely more independent.
We are the first in the nation to reach 50 cases, and I think we're ahead by quite a few. Being able to give people a good quality of life is something that's very important in medicine. And I'm happy that Vivistem has proven very successful in that regard.
With a focus on leadership, spirituality, and mission, the Seventh-day Adventist Church held the Pan-African Youth Congress, bringing together thousands of young people from across the African continent. The event reinforced the church's commitment to the global mission of sharing the gospel of Jesus worldwide and highlighting the role of youth in making a positive impact on communities. This is the first of 3 reports on the events that you will see here on ANN. Noel Simbanda, over to you.
The 3rd edition of the Pan-Africa Youth Congress was held at Babcock University, Nigeria, in the West and Central Africa Division. About 3,000 young people descended at this prestigious institution. The Congress was attended by the 3 divisions, namely the East and Central Africa Division, the Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division, and last but not least, the West and Central Africa Division, and it was graced by our leaders from the General Conference. Running under the theme Cities for Christ, the Pan-Africa Youth Congress at Babcock University, Nigeria, witnessed a kaleidoscope of colors and traditions as participants from various African countries showcased their unique cultural identities. The air was filled with excitement as each nation proudly represented their heritage through intricately designed outfits. Music and dance was the toast of the week-long Congress. From the vibrant Adire and Ankara prints of West Africa to the elegant Maasai attire of the East and Central Africa and down to the Southern Africa, every country was well represented. The diversity of the African culture was on full display, highlighting the continent's rich heritage and creativity. As the youths gathered from different Pan-African countries, they celebrated their differences and commonalities, forging bonds that transcended beyond our borders. The Cultural Day celebrations served as a poignant reminder of the Pan-African spirit, which emphasizes unity, solidarity, and collective progress. Both the local and the international speakers graced this auspicious occasion with dozens of workshops designed to equip, empower, and to sharpen the skills of our youths.
Well, the Faith and Science Council is a combination of several entities from the General Conference and our schools around the world. So we have the Biblical Research Institute, the Geoscience Research Institute, the Loma Linda Earth and Science Biological Department, and we also have the seminary from Andrews University.
ANN In Depth is a podcast that explores current issues through discussions with Seventh-day Adventist Church professionals. In this episode, host Sam Neves speaks with Anthony Kent, General Conference Associate Ministerial Secretary, about biblical standards of conduct and church discipline. Let's take a look at some highlights from this interview.
We have biblical standards for membership in the Adventist Church. So if somebody decides to live outside of those biblical standards, they are by definition excluding themselves from membership. Why is that important?
Integrity of the membership of the community. Harmony is really important, and disharmony is a painful situation. You know, really, this all began, and the record of it, in Genesis 3. You know, when Adam and Eve, they put themselves at loggerheads with God, and God's response, his discipline, was incredibly loving. He went looking for them, calling them, seeking them. That's what discipline is all about.
Redemption.
Yeah. The word itself is closely linked to discipling. It's about caring, it's about growing, it's about nurturing, it's protecting, it's wanting people to be saved and to retain that saved status.
For the full episode and other videos delving deeper into the Seventh-day Adventist faith and its story, visit the official channel on YouTube. The Adventist University Center of Sao Paulo, UNASP, has received approval to launch its Professional Masters in Communication. The approval came from the Ministry of Education and the Adventist Accrediting Association, the highest educational body of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. With a focus on two areas, technology, organizations, and innovation, and media, culture, and society, the master's program offers a practical and advanced education. For those interested, the university will be releasing application details soon. As education advances, health is also a priority for the Adventist Church. UNASP has also taken an important step by holding its first entrance exam for the medicine program. The goal is to train doctors who, beyond entering the job market, will also contribute to the church's medical missionary focus. Health has always been a key pillar for the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and the UNASP medicine program is the latest chapter in this ongoing story. Let's take a look.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church has always placed a high value on health. With a presence in 208 countries and more than 700 hospitals, it is dedicated to encouraging a healthy lifestyle. This emphasis comes from the writings of Ellen White, who believed that physical health is crucial for spiritual growth. Her holistic view of humanity, highlighted in books like The Science of Healthy Living, shaped the Adventist perspective on health. Caring for our health is central to our mission and is reflected throughout the Adventist healthcare system, which has built our strong global reputation in this area. It all started in 1866, right here in America, with the founding of the Battle Creek Sanitarium, which gained worldwide recognition. Under the leadership of John Harvey Kellogg, who is famous for creating Kellogg's cereals, the sanatorium became well known for its innovative natural treatments. Another milestone in Adventist health is Loma Linda University. Established in 1905, this institution stands out as a leader in preventive health and public health programs across the United States. Located in a city with a strong Adventist presence, Loma Linda is recognized as one of the 5 blue zones, where residents enjoy longer and healthier lives. Advent Health, founded in 1973, is one of the largest healthcare networks in the United States, with more than 50 hospitals focused on comprehensive healing. In South America, the Adventist health system encompasses hospitals, clinics, schools, and facilities dedicated to producing healthy food. In 1922, Leo and Jesse Hallowell, a pair of American missionary doctors, provided care to more than 250,000 people living along the Negro, Solomoyes, and Amazon rivers. They treated tropical diseases and helped establish the Adventist health network in the region. In 1956, missionary Leslie Schofield used light boats to help the underserved communities in the San Francisco Valley and set up a healthcare system in northern Minas Gerais called the Montes Claros Project. This groundbreaking initiative led to the development of the Unified Health System, or SUS, which is now recognized as the most extensive public health system in the world. Today, Adventist Health in Brazil runs 5 general hospitals, 3 auxiliary hospital units, 2 integrated medical clinics, and 3 centers for healthy living. With 900 beds, we care for more than 300,000 hospital admissions and 1.6 million outpatient visits every year. The pioneering spirit is at the core of our health-related assistance and educational projects. We are always looking for new partnerships and opportunities to make a positive impact in our communities. Present in Brazil since 1893, the Adventist Education Network comprises over 500 schools, 13,000 teachers, and 240,000 students. It also includes 15 full-time colleges, 5 of which provide education from basic levels all the way to postgraduate studies, making it one of the largest privately managed education networks globally. The Adventist Church is committed to investing in education, understanding its power to change lives. A great example of this is Ben Carson, who rose from humble beginnings to become a renowned neurosurgeon, especially known for his groundbreaking work in separating conjoined twins. His story is just one of many that highlight this impact. Our mission is clear. We aim to prepare individuals to be ambassadors of a message that encourages a healthy and balanced lifestyle, fostering physical, mental, and spiritual well-being.
A groundbreaking advancement could redefine the future of heart valve replacement. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital has achieved a historic milestone, performing Southern California's first pediatric partial heart transplant, an innovative procedure with the potential to revolutionize cardiac care.
The 15-hour surgery was performed on 12-year-old Emiliano Hernandez, who was born with a rare congenital heart defect. The procedure replaced his damaged valves with living tissue from a donor's heart, allowing his heart to function normally. This innovative approach offers long-term benefits, including a growing valve that reduces future surgeries, no need for lifelong blood thinners, and expanded donor availability. The surgery was made possible by the generosity of the donor family and the support of One Legacy, Southern California's Organ, Eye, and Tissue Recovery Organization.
We continue to share updates on the worldwide implementation of the new children's Sabbath school curriculum, introducing this time in the South America region.
The Alive in Jesus curriculum, designed for new generations, was presented in Buenos Aires, Argentina, during a meeting of the Children's Department of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The event, which trained leaders for the curriculum's implementation, brought together leaders from 7 South American countries and other regions of the world. The curriculum covers all 28 fundamental Adventist beliefs and introduces new musical elements. The event featured Nina Atchison, curriculum director and lead developer of Alive in Jesus. She emphasized the curriculum focus on strengthening children's relationship with Jesus and promoting transformation of the heart, mind, soul, and hands through the Bible. In an upcoming video, Nina will provide a brief summary of the beginner program designed for children aged 1 to 3 years old.
What can you expect from the Alive in Jesus beginner program? Well, in the student guides, you'll find a weekly story for your toddler that is repeated each day. There are also activities that can be done throughout the day that reinforce the Bible story. And there's a spiritual message for you, parents. At Sabbath School, there are sensory boxes that encourage collaboration and free play while the parents arrive and interact for a few moments. New songs are mixed with good old songs, re-recorded and accessible for Sabbath School teachers on the Alive in Jesus website. The same quarterly program is used each week, other than the short Bible story interactions that mirror the weekly Bible story, a different nature box item each week, and a different craft each week. And craft templates are provided.
Human trafficking increases during major events like the Super Bowl, the recently held American Football League Championship in the United States. ADRA warns about this alarming reality.
With 50 million victims worldwide, human trafficking is a growing threat, particularly affecting women and children. During high-traffic events like the Super Bowl, traffickers exploit a large concentration of people to capture vulnerable victims. In 2024, over 113,000 victims were identified in the United States. ADRA, the Adventist Humanitarian Relief Agency, works to raise awareness and protect, as it did during the latest Super Bowl. Human trafficking involves the exploitation of individuals, often through fraud or coercion, for purposes like forced labor, prostitution, and organ trafficking. Signs of alert in victims include excessive fear of authorities, lack of documents, and degrading living conditions. Recognizing these signs can save lives. Join ADRA in the fight against human trafficking and help create a safer world for everyone.
The Fakel Adventist community in Moscow celebrated a significant milestone for 4 individuals who embarked on a new chapter in their lives after arriving in Russia from Cuba.
The community's connection with Cuban newcomers began 2 years ago, leading to the formation of a support group led by Lucy, a member of the Adventist Church. Last year, a young woman from Marbella took the first step in this journey by getting baptized, inspiring others to follow. Through dedication and resilience, 4 individuals, Alexander, Amanda, Lisney, and Lismer, reached this important milestone, committing their lives to Christ through baptism. Despite the challenges of adapting to a new country, they continue to grow and integrate, with the community supporting them as they welcome more newcomers.
In Sanford, Florida, a global gathering showcased stories of service and impact. Hosted by Maranatha Volunteers International, the event highlighted mission projects changing lives worldwide. While independently operated, Maranatha partners with local communities to build churches, schools, and wells.
The Spring Meadows Church is deeply committed to mission service, with members having served in various countries across Africa and Asia. Laura Noble, guest speaker and head of donor relations for Maranatha, inspired the audience by asking how their actions today could affect the future. She highlighted Maranatha's efforts, including the Kajiado Adventist School in Kenya, which helps protect girls, and their work in Mozambique, where they drilled 700 wells to address both educational and water access challenges. Noble also reflected on a pivotal moment in 1992, when Maranatha was tasked with building 25 churches in the Dominican Republic. This bold decision led to significant growth, with Maranatha later constructing up to 1,600 churches in some years. Maranatha Volunteers International, a nonprofit ministry, continues to encourage global involvement in mission work to make a lasting, positive impact.
From an innovative web radio training in Ghana to an educational mission transforming lives in Nigeria, let's see how the Seventh-day Adventist Church is working to spread the message of hope in Jesus globally.
A web radio training in Accra, Ghana, brought together media leaders from 7 African countries to explore how digital platforms can enhance evangelism. This initiative aligns with the Church's global mission to strengthen digital outreach and share hope with more people. Meanwhile, Urton Kohler, Secretary of the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, visited Babcock University in Nigeria, where over 12,000 students are being equipped for purposeful careers and leadership centered on Christ. In Ghana, Kohler also met with local leaders, delivering a powerful message on the urgency of mission. He emphasized that spreading the gospel requires unity, dedication, and immediate action. Many are waiting for the good news that brings meaning and hope to their lives, he shared, reminding everyone that the Church's mission goes beyond borders and calls for global involvement.
Is something special happening in your community? Share your photos, stories, or videos with us at contact@adventist.news. Your story might be featured in our next episode. Well, that's it for ANN. To learn more about the beliefs and mission of the Seventh-day Adventists, visit adventist.org. And for the latest news from around the world, head to adventist.news. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.